So, Gregor, do you remember that 2 years ago we made a video on YouTube that we posted on YouTube that actually, we did a review of the 2023 year, and how we have seen it. Now that 2 years are gone, I actually watched it. I'm sure you did as well. And the sad thing is that a lot of the things that we thought will have changed by now have not changed. If I look at what happened in 2025, we are still fighting for talent. So we are still looking to fill some positions, with talent. Doesn't mean that we don't have talent in the organization. We do, but we also have a fluctuation in the organization. You on the IT side and us on the business side. So finding the right people who help us, grow the business and continue to grow the business is a massive challenge. And then, of course, economically. And I'm quite interested in your opinion on this as well. I mean, again, 2 years ago, we spoke about the Ukraine war. The Ukraine war is still going on. And looking at how the new US government is dealing with the situation, this has completely changed.
Obviously, the video you're talking about didn't age well on the prediction side, obviously. So, fair, didn't change as we expected to. The economic outlook is not great, but then on the other side, chaos creates opportunities, right? So it's did it hurt us? Actually, not really, right? Our business was not really or is not really affected by these geopolitical changes.
Other than with the currency. The currency hurt us.
The currencies, yes.
The US dollar, the weakening US dollar, only because we are actually headquartered in Switzerland.
Exactly.
If we would be headquartered in the US, it wouldn't
well.
be. Yeah.
So it's very hard to predict though. So I think it turned out better than I thought it would. And for us, for us as a qashqade, and much worse than I hoped it would for the world. But then rule-based geopolitical order may never have been the one thing which we turn out to be. So,
And you're absolutely right. I mean, our industry is still growing, double digit, stronger than ever. And the prediction for the next years is again, very, very positive. So, of course, I'm talking about private markets. There might be certain asset classes that are not as big, but I just read an article the other day that the number of evergreen funds is steadily increasing. Actually, I wouldn't say dramatically, but it's, there's a 10-15% growth on an annual basis. Exactly. Volume is now exceeding more than 400 billion, in NAV. So that's good for us because we can handle it. So the more the better, basically. What I think what we did this year, I mean, we were heavily focusing on our last release, the 25.00, and that actually, one of the challenges we had beginning of the year is that we wanted to make our software, which already incorporates a huge amount of functionality, make it more user-friendly. So we've been investing for the last 7 years into functionality, and of course looked at the usability of the software as a service, as a self-service tool. But when you build functionality, you not always look at, can this be operated yourself? That's something that with 25.00 we actually started to do significantly, and that's the trend, right?
But last year, the 25 was an interesting year for that. So we cleaned up a lot. We refactored, we rebuilt, the UI changed. So it was an intense year. Luckily, we had a good team together. We have to say that. A little bit of fluctuation, as you mentioned earlier, but we had a good team together making this happen. And now we essentially can go forward with a calmer step because we know now that we're where we wanted to be. So it's really good from a technology perspective.
Yeah. And I'm looking also forward to 26 on the technology side, because I think with 25, as you said yourself, and as I've seen when I started using the 25 version, there is a significant amount of even more flexibility in it. We can do things that we couldn't do before. We now suddenly can go into public markets if we wanted, because the functionality is there. So the moment you have a performance-based calculation, a model, even in public markets, it can be handled, and we see one of our clients as a start to talk to us about handling their type of funds in this area, because of regulatory or law changes in certain markets. So we with 25 we actually expanded not only our
dramatically.
functionality scope, but
the scope of the application has expanded dramatically. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's really the scope it changed. So we have much more focus on, or where we were just a waterfall, so a fund proceeds allocation tool pre-25. We're now a full allocation tool, be that in capital markets, be that in carry allocations, and of course still funds. So a whole private market is now covered, which is really cool. At the same time, we made the software simpler to use. So we got more functionality for less complexity, which is pretty cool. I have to say that, yes. So 25 was really a pivot for us from a technology perspective.
Cap table waterfall, which is something that the software can now handle. And I think the interesting one is, and we saw this now with our latest proof of concepts we did, and it's something that I actually have to say I'm very excited about as well, because I've been predicting this for the last 3 years, and finally it's coming. So sometimes you just have to wait forever, and then eventually it turns around and it comes. But the irony of the whole thing is that we now have a couple of big leads that actually do the portfolio company cap table information, feeding via deal structure and everything else into our system, into the calculation itself. And it seems like that the market itself, and definitely our competition, is heavily struggling with these type of end-to-end calculation, whereas it's something that for us it's actually quite simple, right? Or call it like our basics.
It is. It is. Our approach to take it from the mathematical pattern side instead of from a pure operation side is paying off again. Technology-wise, was an interesting year for the whole market, not just for qashqade. So we see AI, the rise of AI, the discussions, as essentially every single panel discussion there is about AI these days, and everybody weighs in their opinion about AI. So that's interesting. Not that everybody understands everything, so that's another fact. But then that's
the same
always
with
true for
blockchain and
any
crypto,
trend.
right?
Yes, that's exactly, yes. So there is more to come, obviously. So we will not be able to just now stop and not invest in technology anymore when we're looking into the future. So we need to adapt to the new functionalities as much as everybody else as well. So and we will, obviously.
Yeah. Now, when I look back at 25, two things that I also think are very, very exciting for us and also quite important. A, financially, we finally cleaned up the balance sheet. So looking now at the end of 25 and looking at our balance sheet for the end of for the full year, we actually are basically a break-even company that actually has a clean balance sheet, which is also something that is exciting because it prepares us for the future. But then the other thing I want to point out is like that one addition that we brought over to our team that has actually worked out very well was our new marketing director.
I think so as well. I mean, the business side per se, we cleaned up a lot as well, right? So it's we were discussing how we want to set up our services team, how we want to set up sales, what we're doing in sales. We invest a lot in training to make sure people understand what's going on. Now with new marketing, I agree, it's a massive step forward as well. I think this is effect of maturing. So first of all, the two of us made so many mistakes by now that we understand a couple of things better. And
we still make a lot of mistakes, my friend.
Yeah, indeed. But we learned a little bit as well. We have to admit that we learned a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But that's true as well for other areas, right?
Yes.
We as well for the service team, we know what we need them to be able to do and what sort of partners we need in order to progress the company forward. So to make everything better for us as for our clients. And as well in sales, we learned what we can't and can do and put a lot of effort in getting there. So I think this year was, I mean, I have to say that it's a very positive note. We had troubles, and of course we have some issues here and there with a company, so that's to be expected. But we made a couple of very good decisions, and we follow them through now. And then I think the effect is already visible. So I'm ending this year on a very good note from a client perspective, from a qashqade perspective for our clients. Like this way.
Yeah, and the feedback we received from our clients when we visited them, has all been very, very
All very
positive. So
positive. Yeah.
that's exactly what you're looking for. Now, you pointed out also the sell side. That is the one area that is still, a sore spot for me, because, we have not managed to find the right people to help us push forward. We have a great sales support team. We have already talked about, we have the marketing team now. That's not only, of course, Caroline, it's also the team around her, right? And we hired a new, junior sales guy who's developing extremely well.
Excellent.
And of course, in Europe, we have someone who knows what he's doing. But what's missing is our largest market, which is the United States. We just haven't been very successful. The last people we hired, the last salespeople, haven't really developed or delivered in the way that we expected, and that's one of the challenges we are going to have for early next year, because we need to find someone who's actually able to not only win us business, but to also build the market for us, right? So I look at 25 also quite positively. We had a rough start, but then we ended on a very positive note. This hopefully will carry forward into Q1, as a couple of things that can really, make 26 for us already in Q1 an extremely successful year. And then, of course, kind of kicking off a year, hopefully with a couple of big wins under your belt, would of course be very exciting for the entire team. So hopefully we can do that. And I agree with you. The SPM team, our service team, we now have a clear structure and have a clear idea we want to get to there. We are now trying to execute on that. I'm quite excited about what's ahead of us. I hope that the predictions we are making for 26 are not as lame as we did for 24. When we did it at the end of 23. So.
Yeah. I mean, we're not talking about grand geopolitical stuff happening in 26. I would really not take a guess. It's very hard to say where that whole thing is going to end up with. The only thing is that I think we're more robust than we were 23 to 24. So that changed. So I think now we're really, I essentially throw things at us and we will just prevail. I really, really positive right now. If things get better, we will grow faster. If things get worse, we will grow slower. But I think there is no way around of growing for qashqade. So,
well, is there any final word you would like to say?
I think the 26 is going to be interesting, especially from a technological perspective. So I'm looking forward to what's coming there, what's going to happen there, how far we go. I mean, there was just yesterday I read an article that the singularity is coming in 4 years only, so that's close. I'm not so positive, knowing how AI is working currently. Not so positive that we will be overtaken by technology just in 4 years. But it's certainly something to look at. So certainly something to check out, how to use the ability to increase efficiency on that level. So it is a change in how we are behaving, it's change in how we're using technology, and we will adapt to that as well, and perhaps even drive it forward from our perspective. But from a business perspective, I think, as I said, we're very well positioned right now. So I look very much forward to what's there to come and what sales is throwing at us, what we need to be able to handle with the application. It's going to be good fun, no matter what.
I mean, I look forward into 26 because I think it also, I believe it's going to be a very good year for us and also then personally. I mean, if it's good for the company, it's good for me, right? The more clients we win, the more smiles you can see on my face. You know me, I'm only a happy bunny when I can see that our business grows, large and goes well, and we have nice people working for us. So that would then eventually mean for the two of us to step back and do what we planned to do almost 8 years ago, sit on the beach and drink pina colada.
There we go.
For
Still
whatever
hoping for that.
reason.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
All right.
basically Well, then I would say if we don't see each other, then have a Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
And let's work as hard as we can to make 26 even more successful than 25.
Perfect. Let's do that.